King cobra.
One bite from this animal carries enough venom to kill 20 grown adults, or reportedly even an adult elephant if the strike lands near sensitive tissue. Its favorite meal is a snake capable of doing the exact same thing back to it. Ophiophagus hana, the world's longest venomous snake at up to 18 feet, does not hunt rodents or birds like almost every other cobra species on Earth. It hunts other venomous snakes, specifically krites, rat snakes, pythons, and other cobras, including members of its own species when nothing else is available. Confirmed cases of king cobra cannibalism exist in the wild, driven by the same instinct that sends it after a krite carrying venom just as lethal as its own. Two of the deadliest weapons in the animal kingdom aimed at each other, and the king cobra wins almost every time, not through immunity but through a jaw built to swallow a long, muscular body hole before the fight can turn against it. It is also the only snake species on the planet that builds an actual nest for its eggs, guarded aggressively by the female, because everything sharing its territory is either prey or rival. After a large kill, it will not eat again for months. Evolution built the most efficient venomous killer on Earth, then built something whose entire survival strategy depends on hunting it down.
Honey badger.
In 2011, a viral video turned this animal into an internet legend, but the science behind its reputation is stranger than the meme. Honey badgers regularly hunt puff adders, cobras, and black mambas, snakes whose venom can kill a human in under an hour. A 2015 study published in the journal Toxicon, led by researcher Danielle Drabeck at the University of Minnesota, found that honey badgers carry a genetic mutation in a specific muscle receptor, the nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, that prevents cobra neurotoxins from binding properly.
This is not folklore.
It is a documented molecular defense, one that evolved independently in at least 4 separate mammal lineages, including hedgehogs and pigs. Field reports describe honey badgers getting bitten by puff adders, collapsing as if dead for several hours, then getting back up and finishing the meal they were bitten over. Their loose, thick skin adds a second layer of protection, letting them twist inside their own hide during an attack so a snake's fangs rarely find a fatal grip. None of this makes them immune. Cytotoxic venom, the kind that destroys tissue rather than attacking nerves, can still kill a honey badger under the wrong conditions. But against the neurotoxic venom of Africa's deadliest elapids, this animal has quietly rewritten its own biology to keep snakes on the dinner menu.
Mongoose.
The mongoose versus cobra fight looks like folklore because it has been depicted in stories for over a century, most famously in Rudyard Kipling's Rikki Tikki Tavi in 1894. What most people do not know is that the underlying biology is real and has been confirmed in labs. Species in the genus Herpestes carry mutations in the same acetylcholine receptor that honey badgers evolved to resist, but through a different mechanism, one that physically blocks venom molecules through altered sugar structures on the receptor's surface. This means mongooses did not copy nature's answer, they invented their own version of it independently. In an actual confrontation, a mongoose does not simply tank the venom and shrug it off. It relies on speed, reflexes fast enough to dodge a cobra's strike by fractions of a second, wearing the snake down over several minutes until it can land a killing bite to the head. Indian gray mongooses have been documented successfully killing Indian cobras in the wild and in controlled observations, and their resistance means an accidental bite during the fight is rarely fatal. Farmers across India and parts of Africa have kept mongooses for generations specifically because of this skill, using them as a natural form of pest and snake control around homes and grain stores, a practice that predates any scientific explanation for why it actually works. Secretary bird. This is the only bird of prey on Earth that hunts primarily on foot, standing nearly 4 feet tall on legs built like stilts, and its preferred target is venomous snakes. In 2016, researchers from Royal Holloway University of London and the Hawke Conservancy Trust published a study in Current Biology after training a captive secretary bird named Madeline to strike a rubber snake positioned over a hidden force plate. The results were startling. Madeline's kicks landed with 195 newtons of force, equal to 5 times her own body weight, delivered in just 15 milliseconds, roughly 10 times faster than a human eye can track. That speed is not for show. It exists because a single missed strike against a cobra or an adult puff adder can mean a fatal counterattack. The bird spreads its wings mid-hunt, a technique researchers believe baits the snake into striking at feathers instead of flesh, before delivering the fatal stomp to the skull. Ancient Egyptian tomb art from Hatshepsut's temple already depicted this bird over 3,500 years ago, meaning humans have been documenting its snake-killing behavior since long before anyone understood the biomechanics behind it. It remains one of the few predators where the kill happens faster than the human eye can process. Black-headed python. Northern Australia is home to some of the most lethal venom on the planet, including the western brown snake and the desert death adder, and this python treats both as ordinary meals. Aspidites melanocephalus produces no venom of its own, relying entirely on constriction, yet it is documented as being completely unaffected by the venom of Australia's most dangerous elapids. Researchers studying stomach contents from museum specimens found that reptiles make up roughly 92% of its diet, with venomous snakes appearing as a regular, not occasional, food source. What makes this python unusual among its own family is habit, not just immunity. It is almost entirely nocturnal, spending daylight hours in burrows or termite mounds using its jet black head as a natural solar panel, absorbing heat while the rest of its body stays hidden and protected. Once warmed, it emerges to hunt animals that could stop the heart of nearly anything else in its ecosystem. There is no confirmed scientific explanation yet for exactly how its body neutralizes elipid neurotoxins, only consistent field and captivity data showing bites from venomous prey species produce no adverse reaction. Indigenous communities in the Pilbara region have documented this behavior for generations, long before Western science formally studied Aspidites melanocephalus in the 20th century.
Mussurana.
In the forests and savannas of Brazil, Clelia has built its entire survival strategy around eating the country's most dangerous residents, pit vipers, including the fer-de-lance, a species responsible for a significant share of snakebite incidents across Latin America. The mussurana is immune to pit viper venom, but its hunting method is what separates it from every other snake on this list. It has rear fangs, a condition called opisthoglifous dentition, positioned toward the back of its upper jaw rather than the front. Instead of striking and releasing like a viper, the mussurana grabs its prey by the head and holds on, walking its rear fangs deeper into the bite with a chewing motion until venom from its own mildly toxic saliva takes effect. Because its digestive tract is narrower than the prey it targets, it physically compresses the snake's body as it swallows, a process that can take over an hour for a large adult viper. Brazilian researchers have studied the mussurana specifically for potential medical applications, since any organism with functional immunity to fer-de-lance venom is of direct interest to anti-venom development. Local farming communities in rural Brazil have historically protected mussurana's on site, understanding long before formal science confirmed it that this snake was actively reducing the population of the vipers responsible for most local snakebite injury.
King snake.
In the United States, the animal most associated with killing rattlesnakes is not a bird of prey or a badger, it is another snake entirely. Lampropeltis getula, the common king snake, hunts copperheads, cottonmouths, and multiple rattlesnake species, and it does so with a resistance to pit viper venom that has been measured directly in laboratory studies. Research on kingsnake blood serum has shown it can neutralize venom from the western diamondback rattlesnake, one of the species responsible for the highest number of venomous snakebites in North America each year. Unlike the mussurana's rear-fang chewing method, the kingsnake relies purely on constriction, coiling around a rattlesnake's body and squeezing hard enough to stop its heart before the snake can land a solid, repeated strike. Its name is not decorative. King refers directly to its position at the top of the local snake-eating hierarchy, a title it shares linguistically, if not biologically, with the king cobra half a world away. Herpetologists have documented rattlesnakes displaying visible avoidance behavior when a kingsnake scent is present in an enclosure, suggesting the fear response is not learned individually but built into the species over generations of being hunted. In regions where kingsnake populations are healthy, local rattlesnake density has been observed to drop measurably. Tiger shark. Every predator so far has hunted snakes on land, in burrows, and in grass. The tiger shark hunts them in open ocean. Sea snakes, some of the most venomous reptiles alive, appear as a confirmed part of Galiocerdo Cuvier's diet according to marine biology research published in journals including the Bulletin of Marine Science, alongside stomach content studies conducted across tropical waters worldwide. Tiger sharks are famously indiscriminate eaters, nicknamed the garbage cans of the sea after researchers found license plates, tires, and even a suit of armor in dissected stomachs, but sea snake predation is not an accident of that habit, it is a documented and repeated part of their ecological role. Their serrated teeth, shaped like double-edged saws, do not need finesse against a venomous sea snake the way a mongoose needs speed against a cobra. Size alone changes the equation. An adult tiger shark can grow past 16 feet and 1,400 pounds, making a sea snake's neurotoxic bite a threat that never gets the chance to matter. Marine biologists studying tiger shark diet across different growth stages have found smaller juveniles feed mostly on fish, while larger adults expand into reptiles, birds, and marine mammals, sea snakes among them. From the driest deserts of Australia to the open Pacific, evolution kept producing venom as the ultimate defense. Across land, sky, and ocean, something always adapted to eat it anyway.